Hey guys, Dividing by Zero here, and welcome to this week's 7-second summary. For those of you who are new, here's how it works.
I'm going to go through every team in the Overwatch League and tell you my thoughts on the performance the past week. The catch? I can't spend more than 7 seconds on each team. On the screen, I'll show the logo of the team I'm talking about, the results of their past matches, and my comment, as well as a score from 0 to 10. Please keep in mind that when scoring teams, I only take into account what happened in the last week, meaning if a team is usually really good but underperformed last week, the score will only reflect the underperformance. Once I've gone through all the teams, I'll go more in depth about the 2 highest and 2 lowest teams on the list. Alright, that's all the explanation. Let's do this.
Come on, go for 0-10, I believe in you! So, AKM's Widow, huh? So, are you trying anymore, or what? Easy games, you're not out of the woods yet. Will the real Spitfire please stand up? You lost the Battle of LA, but you can still win the war. Sinking souls since 1660s, fuck it. Even when they throw, they go to 5 maps. You know, that Fraggy guy wasn't that bad. Getting more confident every week. The easiest week possible, and you still almost blew it. You're running out of chances, guys.
Defeat.
I'll be honest, even though Philadelphia was probably the first team to repeatedly ram its face into Mickey's Brigitte over and over again, I still let them off the hook last week. But man, did the Fusion look lost right now. With EQO's wrist injury, Shadowburn saw a significant amount of playing time for the first time since Stage 1, and unfortunately we saw what EQO had been starting for him. He significantly underperformed on every hero he played except for Pharah, and the Sato Hotba experiment just hasn't worked out this week. This team seems to have completely lost its spine against XL after 2 straight reverse sweeps, and came up short on a crucial game against the Gladiators that could very well cut them out of the season playoffs. With games against the Red Hot Shock and the Desperate Dynasty up next, things don't look to be getting much easier either. An 0-2 week could doom them at this point.
Victory!
San Francisco really have the makings of a great team here. The San Francisco choke, as I would call them in Stage 1, would put themselves in favorable positions on the defensive rounds, but completely crumble on offense and give up maps they very well should have won. We even saw this versus a Spitfire last week on Blizzard World. This week, however, was a different story. The Fuel are a surprisingly scary team now, and the Uprising are looking better with every game played. They each put up good fights and even looked to have the game won at times, but the Shock were able to pull through in the end every time and come away with the win. In my opinion, this is the sign of a great team. Mechanical skill matters little if you can't deliver when it's all on the line. That's why SBB is so good for the XL. He may not be the overall best player with the best stats, but he always comes through when his team needs him the most. That's what I'm seeing now in Architect, Choi Boy, Baby Bay, Sleepy, Sinatra. All these people have the ability to completely turn the fight around. And I think the Shock versus the XL next week could be much closer than expected.
Defeat.
Then on the other side of the spectrum, we have the Mayhem. Florida hasn't been down here, I think, ever. Mostly because Saya player was just too good, and thanks to him, they showed just enough flashes of potential to stay out of the bottom 2 in my eyes. Well, guess who was absent from the Mayhem lineup this week? Here's a hint, it wasn't Tavik. And the best part is that the Mayhem had every opportunity to go 2-0 this week anyways. They had the Dynasty by the throat. They had them, but they just couldn't finish them off and got reverse swept. And then we have the Houston game, which, okay, I'll be honest, I wasn't able to catch until Gibraltar. But nothing filled me with more sadness than watching the Mayhem simply crumble and allow the Outlaws to roll through the entire map on a 1-minute time bank. This game was probably the worst performance I've ever seen by a team in an escort map. The Mayhem were trickling in one by one, half committing to fights only to get destroyed. It was severe fundamental errors that I could expect in low-level comp, not in the Overwatch League. Seriously, was anyone talking in voice chat? Because it doesn't seem like it. Can we please just try Sayo and Logix for a game? Just to see how it goes? What do you have to lose at this point?
Victory!
Congratulations, Valiant! You barely beat the New York Excelsior in a match where they obviously weren't trying 100%, and Pine took this flank.
looking for a way to flank around the outside here.
Pine is gonna flank. Oh, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Twice! Well, I guess beating the Excelsior in any capacity is still an accomplishment. And while you were at it, you went ahead and claimed the Battle of LA for Season 1. This has been a great week for you, and that's thanks largely, in my opinion, to Agilities. Everyone at this team is solid at their roles, but when they really need a hard carry, usually it's Agilities going off on Pharah or Junkrat or Genji. Even without that, the team didn't look to have many noticeable holes in Week 3. Soon's been holding his own in the Widow duels, Fate and Space are quietly one of the best tank lines in the league, Grieve and Custa do their jobs well, despite not being as flashy as some other supports. Their schedule, though, at the end of the season is tough, but with a 3-game lead in the Pacific Conference, they have it all but locked up. This video didn't age very well, did it? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Don't get tilted. Peace!